The chilly mornings and evenings here in Scotland have me craving a bottomless cup of a hot something. I grew up in the Midwest, so I am no stranger to resorting to all the hot drinks to keep warm and well nourished. A steamy mug of hot chocolate is what would reheat my body after returning home from playing in the snow as a little human. Even though my hot chocolate would be made from a pre-made mix that Aldi would sell in the winter months, I enjoyed every last drop as if it was made from a superior Swiss chocolate. Having hot chocolate stored in my Mexican household felt like an extra special treat. I was born and raised in Chicago, but Mexico was my everyday. Takeout from Americanized restaurants was an infrequent occurrence, as well as our kitchen being stocked with very American snacks. And when this did happen, I was very aware that we were experiencing a food item that we had seen in films and TV shows. At the time, this crossroad of food cultures felt cool. I finally understood why the combination of marshmallows and hot chocolate was a seamless marriage of sugar. And speaking of marshmallows, these white cylinders of sugary softness add an element of fun to any recipe. I loved how I could smell and feel the marshmallows up against my nose as I would tip the mug to take a sip of hot chocolate as a kid. I made sure to make a tower of marshmallows that perhaps could compete with the skyscrapers that I would see every time I took the train downtown with my parents. The immersion of marshmallows and hot chocolate creates a sweet sogginess that brings back memories of enjoying sugar-filled snacks with friends and cousins. From the marshmallow and coconut galletas, from the supermercado to Rice Krispie treats. It's a little funny to realize that I had my very first s'more when I was in my 20s. As I bit into the graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate, I once again had that look at me, I'm doing something very American moment. That is the first gen experience. Identifying a norm in the country you were raised in, but not identifying with the country. It's a bit strange to still feel like a foreigner when experiencing certain aspects of the country that you grew up in. But that has never stopped me from being curious and exploring. The duality of my background has exposed me to sights, smells, and tastes that I am grateful for. For this drawing, I have decided to illustrate a character that is standing on the handle of a mug with her tiny spoon. She is ready to sample the biggest and most gorgeous mug of hot chocolate. I wanted to fill the mug to the brim with marshmallows for the scene to bring out a playfulness. And this is how I assume most kiddies would like to imagine their mugs of hot chocolate, out of proportion and overflowing with sugar. The mug is in the shape of a pumpkin to enhance the autumnal vibe. The character with her bold green frames is wearing overalls, which highlights my long history with and love of overalls. I've recently reintroduced overalls to my wardrobe as a 39-year-old, and it has brought me so much joy. So don't be surprised if you see them pop up in my other illustrations. Now, strangely enough, this mug is resting on a gigantic book that has been opened. I have tried to combine all things that I enjoy in this scene: a hot drink, a book, and autumn. As a kid, I enjoyed reading fairy tales, and I decided to add a bit of fairy tale flair here by drawing a book that could be the character's home. Not only does this character have a bottomless mug of hot chocolate with marshmallows that she can use as floaties to keep her warm and alive, she has a book so big that she can get lost in her imagination and pursue adventures that she never dreamed of. The message I want to get across here is yes, we are just small beings in this world, but that doesn't mean our hearts, mind, and creativity stay small. I have chosen to give the mug and book autumnal tones to create a joyful warmth to encourage the character to stick around until her spoon has scooped the last of the hot chocolate. I'm actually pretty pleased with this autumnal illustration. Now do yourself a favor and make yourselves some hot chocolate, and don't forget the marshmallows. Thanks for joining me, friends. Let's continue with the autumnal theme and meet up again for the next one.